everything you've been told about diet is a lie. Carbs aren't essential, fat is actually good for you, and supplements, they're actually a waste of money for most people. Watch till the end and I'll break down the truth. Carbs are not essential to our diet at all. The cavemen, thousands and thousands of years ago, were not sat there eating white bread, wraps, pasta every day, lasagna sheets, sandwiches, The only source of carbohydrates that is natural to nature is fruit, nuts, and certain meats, white meats like chicken. Carbohydrates actually do not fill you up at all. You can sit there and eat white bread all day and you will still be hungry. Because in the end, all carbohydrates are just sugar. Fat and protein does not get broken down into sugar, into glucose. Whereas every single carbohydrate, when you read a label, and I don't actually have anything, but when you read a label and it says of which sugars, that's just of which are like just simple sugars. All of those grams of carbs will eventually be converted into sugar. So if you're eating 200 grams of carbs a day, it's a lot more sugar that you're intaking than you realise. And there is two different types of carbohydrates. There's simple carbs, complex carbs. One being, white rice, white bread, most wraps, most pasta. Those are the simple carbs. The complex carbs would be more like whole wheat pasta, wholemeal bread, brown bread, brown pasta, things like that. And there's been a big movement nowadays where it's like, oh yeah, eat clean. But people don't actually realise that all carbohydrates are processed, other than the natural sources, fruit, some nuts, some meats. But all of the carbohydrates that we consider, carb sources nowadays, they're actually extremely processed. In America, bread could actually legally be defined as cake by the FDA because of the amount of sugar in it. It's absolutely disgusting. And you're fed this lie that, you need carbs. Carbs are good for you. In all TV shows, they're sat there eating breakfast, and what do they have? They have toast. They have grain cereal. Pancakes. Every single TV show when they have breakfast, it's not going to be a healthy breakfast. I've got whole fat Greek yogurt, I've got some blueberries and a banana. It's like, nah. Jam on toast. Fats. Unprocessed fats are not only excellent for your health, they're also necessary for your health. By unprocessed fats, I mean unsaturated and saturated fats. Saturated fats coming from sources like meat, oils, not seed oils. Like coconut oil has a lot of saturated fats in it. But meat, oils, cheese, dairy sources, and those are pretty much the only clean sources of saturated fats. The rest would be like chocolate, deli meats, which give you cancer. So you want those three sources of saturated fats, and then you want unsaturated fats. Monosaturated and trans fats are not good. They are off the table. And the reason I include dairy in there is because humans have been consuming animal products for thousands of years. And look to the point we've got to now. Think about how long we've been drinking cow's milk. Natural cow's milk, obviously, not drinking milk from cows that's been pasteurized, homogenized, the cow's been filled up with progesterone to trick it into thinking it's on its period 24/7, pregnant. So it creates milk endlessly. Disgusting. Protein. 1 gram per pound of body weight is preposterous. Imagine a 300-pound guy takes that advice and has 300 grams of protein a day. Do you think he's actually going to need that? Some fat, overweight guy is now consuming 300 grams of protein a day. And to get all that protein in, he's eating excess calories and he's now putting more weight on. All because someone said, oh yeah, 1 gram per pound of body weight. No. It's ridiculous. You need to stay within the 100 plus is good, but within the 100 to 120 range is like the sweet spot. Anything more than 120, you're not going to really be absorbing as well and as much. And anything less than 100, you're not going to be building the peak amount of muscle that you could be. Protein also satiates you a lot more than carbs do. Protein satiates you more than fat, so it keeps you fuller for longer. So ideally, you want your main source of calories in your diet to be proteins, then fats, then carbohydrates. Kind of like the keto diet a little bit. But proteins are good for so many different things. And ideally, you want animal sources of protein. So whether that be from milk, whey, eggs, meat, fish, you want it from animal sources because they are whole proteins, meaning they have all 9 essential amino acids that you need to make up a complete protein so your body can use all of it. Whereas with soy protein, plant proteins, all the vegan types of protein, those ones, your body can't actually use all of the protein in it. So it'll say 21 grams of protein per scoop, but you can only actually use 15 because it hasn't got all the 9 essential amino acids. Because it's very hard to artificially manufacture whole amino acids just from plants. Supplements are completely unnecessary if you're at this stage of your diet. Your diet should be 95% of the structure. So why are you autistically focusing on the last 5%, should I supplement vitamin D3 or just vitamin D? It doesn't matter. Until you've got a stable foundation and you've got a healthy, consistent diet, you're at the weight you want to be, that's when you should dabble into supplements. But probably not at the level you're at now. There are a few supplements I would recommend, those being vitamin D and creatine and caffeine sometimes, 2 to 3 times a week max. But other than that, I would say no need focusing on supplements at all. It's completely pointless. Most supplements are actually complete shit anyway. They're not what they say they are. They've got inconsistent doses. So yeah, supplements, don't worry about them. And now that you know the truth about diet, there's probably one thing that's holding you back, and that's thinking that all calories are the same, when there's actually a huge difference between a carb calorie and a protein calorie. So, lucky for you, I've just made a video about that on the end screen, about why counting calories won't help you lose weight. Go click that right now. Have a hard day and a great week. Mwah.